Well, hi YouTubers, hi and Happy New Year. This is the start of the 23 books of 2023. So, yep. Anyway, just to make one thing clear, I'm recording this on the 14th of September. Due to the fact I've been so busy recently, a lot of the actual reviews I'm doing the year before, a few months before, just so I can have them ready for release. There's no pressure and no stressing. And also today, 14th of September, I had a haircut. Do you like? So I need to get it dyed this week as well. They did actually say, okay, maybe it's this time, okay, you need to start dyeing your hair lighter. I'm not ready for that. My hair is a natural hair colour, it's like a chestnut brown, so like a mahogany kind of thing, so no. Okay, anyway, book time. Actual book time. Ooh, kicking it off, kicking it off. Here we go. Reflection, A Twisted Tales, one of the Disney's kind of reinterpretations, reimaginings. And what if Mulan had to travel to the underworld? Read the blurb. When Captain Shang is mortally wounded in battle, Mulan must travel to the Underworld Diyu in order to save him from certain death. But King Yama, the ruler of Diyu, is not willing to give up Shang so easily. With the help of Shang's great lion guardian ShiShi, Mulan must find Shang's spirit and leave by sunrise, or else become King Yama's prisoner forever. Mulan, still disguised as a soldier Ping, wrestles with the decision whether or not to reveal her true identity to her closest friend. Will Mulan be able to save Shang before it's too late? Okay, so you know that scene in Mulan where the avalanche, Mulan gets a cannon and grabs Mushu, pulls it like he's a lighter, and it goes, "You missed! How could you miss? He was it 3 feet in front of you because there's an avalanche." Basically, Mulan has a kill count. One of the reasons Mulan is one of my favourite Disney princesses is that she's not a princess, she doesn't marry a prince, but princess in her own right, is that she has a kill count. Mulan is a Disney princess with a kill count. I love her. Now, I can actually quote the film Mulan, not because I love it, it's one of my favourite Disney films. I worked in the cinema when it came out, so I absolutely love that film. This, I will give a lot of respect. Now, it happens on that moment, but Shang kind of jumps in. You know that bit where Shan Yu cuts Mulan and then passes out and then a big reveal happens, okay? No. Shang jumps in the way, he gets attacked by Shan Yu, he's the one who gets mortally wounded, and Mulan sits vigil with him, waiting for him to die, because he's beyond help. Absolute beyond help. And one thing is this, okay, whilst Mulan is keeping vigil, because she feels a lot of guilt, because it's like, her mentality is, I was celebrating with the soldiers whilst my commander-in-chief got hurt, okay, is Mushu kind of references the kind of archetypal Disney film as well. Now, Mulan is very interesting, okay, because it's one of the few Disney princess lines I think doesn't have a kiss. Shang and Mulan never kiss. They kiss in the sequels, which is fine, but in the film, no, because there's never really that kind of moment for a kiss. Okay? Right. Is it? Whatever battle you're fighting in there, I'm going to help you. That's it, Mushu encouraged. Keep going. Maybe you should give him a little kiss. Mushu? The dragon shrugged. Hey, it works in all those folk tales. That's enough, she said, turning away so Mushu couldn't see the blush creeping across her cheeks. Of all the crazy ideas. Clever. Clever. One thing I will give Elizabeth Lim, who wrote this book, she knows the script. She knows the script. And one thing I think she did do as well is also read a lot of academic texts about Mulan. Mulan is a Disney film which you can really kind of psychoanalyze in a lot of different ways about gender, identity, politics, sexual politics. Musical Hell actually refers to Shang as our bisexual icon, which is, hey, why not play that canon? Oh, So, and whilst Mulan's waiting for Shang to kind of flush from the coil, she sees a spirit of General Lee, his father, who passed away just prior to a girl we're fighting for, okay? And then there's the big kind of hum battle. She sees his spirit, and then she sees his guardian, ShiShi, and she pretty much demands to take me to the underworld so I can plead his case, I can find his soul, okay? And it's very interesting as well because obviously my favourite characters, Yao, Ling and Chenpo, they're briefly in there. They're told not to do anything, just Mulan's gonna take care of it. Well, Ping in her guise, okay? And she decides to leave Mushu behind because Mushu's gonna be a burden on this. So this is all for Mulan's point of view. She's the protagonist. This is all through her own eyes. And so she decides to, when the spirit shows up, to go with him to the underworld on the back of a stone lion. Now remember that Mulan's guardian should have been a great stone dragon, which Mushu broke. There is this theory that Mushu is the great stone dragon. There's also a theory that Mulan is the great stone dragon, because there's that bit just before she does her transformation in the rain, the haircut, she's actually sitting at the foot of the great stone dragon. Okay, so with this stone lion, she goes into the underworld. Okay, and this bit here. Okay, and with King Yama, when she finally gets an audience with him, this bit here, okay, is that Mulan is so pleading for him. Mulan is so pleading for him. Okay, right. This bit here. Captain Shang is scheduled to be reincarnated quite soon after his death, actually. That is why Spirit is already here in Diyu. He's been prepared for his new life, consider it an honour. China needs him now, Counter Mulan. The Huns may be defeated, but there will always be threats against the Emperor. He needs a man like Shang to protect him, to protect China. Her voice quavered. You already took General Li. Please, do not take his son too. The only general who can save China, okay, is Shang. The only one. That's it. Okay? Right. And the theme of identity as well. Now, various bits of the actual, even songs, there's a bit referring to when Mulan's only got to a day, okay, to say Shang. Even versus the words, the dark side of the moon. A flower that blooms in adversity is most rare and beautiful of all. Talking about women, okay, lyrics from A Girl Worth Fighting For. You know, with Ling Chenpo and Pao. So Ling Chenpo and yeah, referencing what they're into, which is very, very clever. I just wish they were there because Yao, Ling, and Chenpo are, I think, my three favorite characters because they quite antagonistic, and then they want to have Mulan's back. And also, one thing I love is one of my favorite scenes is the bit where Mulan actually is injured. Okay, is they're sitting vigil outside the tent. When they think that Shang's gonna kill Mulan, they rush forward to stop. When the Emperor trying to break into the Emperor's palace, Mulan's like, "I've got an idea," and they look at Shang like, "Okay," and then they drop it and run off because they trust her more than him. So that's why I wish they were in this book. Okay, but identity is really coming into play in this. This is from obviously Mulan's point of view. This is from her perspective, and she's really kind of questioning her motives as well for being there. Why did she join the army? Why did she do this in the first place? I mean, her father was quite elderly. He probably would have got like an administration position or just training. It probably would actually be on the front line. Why did she do it? Okay. And there's a bit, okay, where ShiShi has his hair, where his main cut, and it makes Mulan reflect. I mean, the book is called Reflection, and there's a lot of reflecting in this. Okay, right. Mulan cast ShiShi an apologetic look, suddenly remembering how she cut her own hair before stealing her father's armor. Had a simple action, yet it changed everything. It severed ties of her old identity and gone from Mulan to Ping, from bride to soul, from obedient daughter to a woman who led her own life. What if she cut too many ties? What if she went home and Pet no longer recognised her? After all, she wasn't the same Mulan anymore. Sometimes she didn't know who she was. She'd thought going to war would show her, but things were never as easy as that. Exactly. This book, Elizabeth Lim, who wrote this, she really did her research. First of all, I knew nothing, okay, about Chinese kind of, not mythology, okay, but the traditions regarding death. I knew nothing about this. I actually learned a lot, okay? And one thing I did love is she did her research so well, this bit here. Now, Mulan 2. Let's talk about Mulan 2, because Mulan 2 is bloody terrible, okay? And there's this one bit here, okay, which shows how well researched this is, okay, is when Mulan and Ping and Shang, she found his soul. He's transparent, by the way, and they're walking through trying to get to level 100 to get to find their way out. You've got to get to level 100 to play like a video game, right? Okay. This bit here, this is from Shang. Perhaps when I marry, I'll combine the ancestral temple so my bride wouldn't have to leave her family. Right. Mulan couldn't help but feel in touch, so he couldn't help feeling in touch, really. Then again, I've yet to meet a girl I can actually talk to. You need a girl with a brain, Mulan found herself without realising it, one who speaks her mind. Do you know one like that? Okay? Right. She looked down at her bandages. Oh, she's hurt foot. Again, hoping Shang didn't hear her pulse getting faster. I might, she said, trying to best sound like she was teasing him. Mulan, she scolded, what's wrong with you? I need to know what else you value in a girl, she said to Shang, ignoring the strength sewn in her chest. A lovely face with shining eyes, a sweet murderous voice, someone who's delicate and graceful as a flower. Okay? Right. Shang reddened and Mulan laughed. She was having fun teasing the captain, something she never got to do before. Jinpo wants a girl who can cook well. Yao's the one who wants someone who adores him. Okay? I guess he wants someone capable, someone to take care of the household while you're at war. Okay? So, see what I mean? Incorporating the songs, incorporating a bit of everything, incorporating Mulan 2, which is dire. Actually, I recommend if you watch musical House review of that. Okay? Right. And also, once on this journey, Mulan also finds her ancestors, the Far ancestors. Now, you go back to Mulan, okay, where the ancestors, you know, come all out. One was by James Avery, who was Uncle Phil in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Rest in peace, good sir. Okay. Is her ancestors always seem to care a little bit. Talk about honour and the family, and they're going to lose their farm, but I always thought they're saying a little bit weird to care about our ancestors. And this kind of really kind of shows it. I mean, you've got the famous bit in the original Mulan where one of the ancestors says to another, yes, well, your daughter was a cross-dresser. Actually says it like that, okay? So they're this big kind of, military family, yet at the same time the exploits are just out there, okay? So, and when they meet Mulan, she basically says, they look at her like, do we know you kind of thing. And she says, oh, I'm Ping, I'm your ancestor. And their reaction is, oh, you never prayed to us, I never heard your name. Who are you? And it's like looking at Ping saying, oh, not much of a beard, look quite young, you're basically a child. And I was like, do they actually know that's Mulan? Okay, or are they kind of like just playing around with that? Right. And they're the ones who basically say, because Shang thinks that Ping has a sister, okay? When they start mentioning the girl we're fighting for and women, from the way Ping is talking, Mulan, is Shang's getting this impression, okay, that maybe Ping has a sister, okay? No, right? And when one of the ancestors say, oh, you're an only child, but your parents got you that dog little brother, okay, this bit here, right? And they keep saying, okay, the boy with no name, that's what it keeps being referred to as, okay, right? My ancestors were right, she says, surprised by how calm her voice was. Her parents never had a son, there is no Ping. She raised her eyes to meet Shang's, there was only Mulan, okay? It actually takes her hair down, okay? I am Mulan. And one thing I will give this is Shang's reaction is quite similar to how it is in the original film. He's outraged, he basically says, I'm going to kill you, and changes his mind, a life for life, my debt is repaid. Yes, I can actually quote that film. And his reaction, you would think he'd be okay with this, but obviously he's a man of his time, he's not used to, they've discussed about women in the military, but now he finds out that the one who was prepared to go down to the underworld to find his soul is a woman. And he reacts stupid, okay? It's a stupid reaction. He basically stormed over Kane and says, well, thank you for getting me this far, but I can get out of here by myself, okay? And obviously, no, we can't. Actually, we need to work together. And his reaction is he storms off because he can't believe, okay, that Ping is a woman called Mulan. And there's another character in it, okay, called Meng Po, who is kind of going through this story, kind of on the outskirts. She gives them drinks to make them forget everything, okay? She reminds me a little bit of Agatha and Labyrinth. That was the only comparison I can find, mentally as I was reading this. Is, you know, being in this place long enough, you forget why you're there. So, hey, right. But the thing is, eventually he comes to his senses, and everyone kind of calls him out on how stupid he is, even his own guardian. Okay, even ShiShi. Right, right. It's bit here. Listen to her, Li Shang. Do not let your emotions overwhelm you. Whether she's Ping or Mulan, a true friend is rare. ShiShi, Shang growled. You are my father's guardian, not mine. I am your guardian, replied the lion. You are being stubborn. Do not let pride blind you into forsaking your friend. You trusted Ping, Mulan said. Why is Mulan any different? Exactly. Until he calms down. But anyway, as a book is called Reflection, this is Mulan reflecting a lot on her decision. Okay. Now, if you go back to Be a Man, right? You know when the end of that song is when Shang discharges her, comes to her with her horse, says, "You're unsuited for the rage of war, so pack up, go home, you're through." Mulan could have just gone home. She could have just gone home. Didn't make it in the army. Probably still keep the family honour intact. Okay, she stays. They're bringing that arrow down for her. Okay, she at that moment, it's not being about her father. She's there for her, and this starts to kind of question really, really why. Okay, and this once again, Elizabeth Lim definitely read a lot of articles about this. Okay, right. Is when this is how she's raised to be. Okay, it's just when she turned 14 and suddenly she'd gone from a child of freedom to being prepared to be a bride. Hey, 14. No, it's be a hard change to make, Farley had told her, but it's for your own good. Men want a girl who's quiet and demure, polite and poised, but someone who speaks out of turn and runs wild about the garden. A girl who can't make a good match won't be honoured to the family. And worse yet, she have nothing, not respect or money of her own or a home. She touched Mulan's cheek with a resigned sigh. I don't want that fate for you, Mulan. And this book does not hold back on how crappy it is for women at this time. They have no ancestral ties. They kind of have to join their husband's family. They have to make advantageous marriages. They have to raise children. Okay, people have looked down, okay, on Mulan's mother because she only gave birth to a child. People actually even gave Li Shang's mother a hard time as well, and she felt very, very. It basically, people in the time blamed her, or she blamed herself because Li Shang's also no new child, okay, because he had siblings who he lost along the way, okay, who died in infancy, who just never made it to term. So, yeah, this does not hold back on the crap sack way women are treated at this time, and I absolutely appreciated that. Absolutely. Right. But and Mulan does this thing which I absolutely adore, okay, is when she actually says the real reason why she signed up. When Chifu came to the village and called my father back to the army, I saw it as my chance. I decided to go to save my father, but at the same time a small part of me wanted to escape. She never admitted that out loud before. I wanted to prove I could be more. You are more, Shang says slowly. Come down and speak with her. I mean, what I said earlier about you being a hero. He faltered. I learned something today. No matter whether you're a girl or a demon or a ghost, you're my friend, Mulan. Mulan held her breath. Hearing him say her name, her real name was strange yet nice. Her heart lifted and she warmed. So you're not going to discharge me? No, Shang said firmly. A good soldier is hard to find. China needs you. And when it's all over, when to manage to bring Shang's soul back, and whilst on this journey, Mulan picks up a sword which is later actually belongs to Meng Po. She kind of was left there, and which turns into a flower because the flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. Mulan actually kills demons. Now, one thing interesting about Mulan is that even though she has a kill count, she never actually physically kills anyone. Okay, I mean, you know, the Huns, it was the avalanche or it was fireworks. This, she actually kills demons. She actually pulls out a sword and fights, which we never see in the original film. And also, when we get back, there's kind of like an ambiguity going on as well of was this a dream or not? it's not, but there's a bit of ambiguity at the time. So I generally did enjoy this book. I thought it was very clever, very well written. It doesn't hold back on showing how crap sack Mulan Wells felt, how restrained she felt. It answers the reason why she joined up. She could have just gone home with dignity intact because she was unsuited for the rage of war. I would have loved to seen Yao, Chenpo, and Ling in this more, okay, because they're my favourite characters, and there was no Mushu. But I generally did enjoy this book. I thought it was very refreshing. And also the fact that the only main protagonists in it are Mulan and Shang. This is all from her worldview. And it kind of makes you appreciate as well. Makes me really appreciate the Disney film too. Okay? So, anyway, Reflection by Elizabeth Lim. Well done. I enjoyed. Kudos. Anyway, 23 books of 2023 kicking off. Take care, everyone. Bye now.